Hey, book lovers, I'm Candace.
And I'm Chrissy. And you've just stumbled into your new favorite book club, Bookalicious Pod.
We're two sisters reading our way through fantasy, fiction, thrillers, and the occasional "what did we just read" moments.
Every week, we break down books chapter by chapter
with deep dives, hot takes, and detours into sisterly side combos.
Think a cozy book club mixed with a FaceTime call, sprinkled with a little chaos.
We don't hold back on the characters we love or the ones we love to hate.
We play games like Read It Like Reddit, Red Flag or Deal Breaker, and have Spotify polls for you to guess along with our plot theories.
If you've got a TBR pile a mile high, including Akatar or Frida McFadden,
or just want to feel like you're hanging with your bookish besties, hit play. This is Bookalicious Pod.
We're starting.
Oh no, we've already started. Well, so if you're lucky enough to be watching this on video, you'll notice we have some fun backgrounds. Or me and Katie went on site to film this. Investigative journalism.
Straight from the magical land of Omnia.
Well, we landed in different caves, though.
Yes.
Or maybe I'm inside the cave. You're outside of it.
Yes. Okay, so tell me, how did you pick this background?
I thought that I could go on Google to pick up a picture and put in the background, and you probably can. And I was going to ask you how you did that, but then I realized that there's a button that says generative AI. It says, what background do you want? So I put in sci-fi, and they said, that's not a valid prompt. I said, oh. So then I said Crystal Cave, and that wasn't exactly it. And then I said Crystal Cave Fantasy, and this came up.
Oh.
I was like, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Put it on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
How did you get yours?
I did the old school generative AI, and I said fantasy background for Zoom.
Fantasy background for Zoom. So wait, you did the generative AI on Zoom too, or you were on Google?
I just meant that I didn't do generative AI. I just Googled.
Oh, you generated. You were the real intelligence. Generative RI.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you looked up fantasy background for Zoom. I don't know if I would consider that fantasy. It could be fantasy. I thought it was a Lion King.
Well, I know. It looks like Pride Rock is coming out of my right
shoulder. We're about to see Rafiki.
Yes. So I picked this because it was like really green and blue, and I really liked the colors, very like highly saturated, and it felt fitting, kind of how I would imagine some of the places that we go in this book.
Oh, so you're imagining this book is really bright and cartoony.
I think so. You're not. How are you imagining it?
I don't know. Bleak? I guess I didn't really think about it. I mean, yeah, it seemed a little bleak.
It is a little bleak. It is a little Hunger Games.
Yeah. She's a little like fighting for her life over here. Her whole family died. I don't know if I've gotten many cartoony vibes yet.
No, I guess, well, maybe what I was thinking was, the city is very bleak where she's in, but as she like goes an adventure, and I've read the whole book as a caveat. So I think as you go through more of the places,
they're about to break out into song.
Yeah, they're going to have like a montage.
It'll be like Shrek, where it goes from the swamp to little puppet singing.
And if you're watching video, you might see a couple of small fingers show up on Chrissy's screen. Not an octopus drowning her.
Out of my cave. Became 3D.
Yeah.
Just a little Francis.
Just a little Franklet.
Yeah, trying to say hi. I lift her up, but now she's eating, so don't want to mess with the magic. But if you stay until the end of our 2-hour episode, you might see her.
That's right. And if you look at my screen, you might see a floating blimp, but it's just but it's just my finger. And you might wonder why
that's
happening. But we've decided for our special Patreon subscribers, we're going to put that one behind the paywall. So if you want to hear about my medical drama.
Yeah, Candy's private medical information. You have to pay to hear it.
Yeah, we need $1.
Yeah. It's kind of top security.
Yeah, top security. We need $1 if you want to hear about my finger trauma.
This is gonna be very revealing.
It's
Ooh,
oh,
who wants to
it's a
pay $1 to hear
crazy,
about your finger?
not a lot of people.
Would you be flattered or would you be a little weirded out if someone wanted to pay money to hear about your finger?
I would think that that's very normal because this story is so hilarious and crazy and full of drama and twists and turns. You had no idea.
It really is. And really seeing it in person or on video, really you got to see it. That's the
It's,
best teaser for the story.
I know, it's crazy. Like the thing doesn't even think that it's part of my body. It keeps trying to blur it out.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay, so those are the big things. We're trying video, we're trying Patreon. We'll see what happens. Patreon might be a sad little place for a long, long time. We don't know.
Need to reveal more of our medical history. Get the saucy stories out there.
Yes. Yes. But if you're listening on Spotify, it is not a lonely place. We just hit 200,000 listens all time.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
Big snaps. And we just hit over 900 followers on
I
Spotify.
know. So we're trying to plan what to do to celebrate 1,000 followers because we're assuming it's going to keep increasing. So,
It,
assuming we get
it,
there, what are we going to do?
exactly. If you look at our follower graph, I'm looking at it right now, it is a straight line to the sky.
Yeah, it all of a sudden started skyrocketing.
That's when we started the housemaid. That's why.
Well, Housemaid definitely jump started, but I feel like recently it's gone up. Is that Harry Potter?
Oh, yeah. We've been getting, yeah. Well, every day we get anywhere from 1 to 10 followers.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, which is super cool. So glad that you're here.
Yeah. But
Ah,
yeah,
oh,
so at this point though, by the time this is released, we'll probably have already done our celebration thing.
possibly.
So maybe this
Hopefully.
will just be on Instagram before this comes out.
Oh, other big news.
Oh.
I made a Instagram post, which always does terrible, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But I did one for Not Quite Dead Yet. And I was like, I'm gonna tag Holly Jackson and just see what happens. And our girl responded.
That's crazy. That's so exciting.
I almost
I'm
passed out.
amazed. Yeah. Honestly, I would not expect that. That is so cool.
Yeah. I was like,
Wow.
wow, no, the only person who comments is the most
I
important.
know. It's so out there. You're like, what?
What? Oh my gosh.
Wow. I looked on her Instagram after that, and I mean, she's a busy lady. She's traveling around, promoting her book. She's doing a lot.
She's doing it. She really liked my idea of doing a Halloween.
That's great. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she like capitalizes on that and is like, brilliant. Halloween.
Honestly, yeah, it's like it's right there. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
Halloween, love. So hopefully if she does, she throws us a tag back.
I don't know. Maybe she will.
Maybe she won't. We'll never know.
We'll find out.
Okay, but today we are talking about a very special book.
Yes. Do you want to say why it's so special?
Yes, this is an independent author. This is a
Yeah.
debut independent author. I found the author on TikTok, KS Elliot,
Mm.
and she was kind of describing what her book was about. And I was like, girl, I'm going to pre-order it. So I pre-ordered it all the way from Australia. She is an Australian
Oh,
author.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I was really excited because we have our UK correspondent, F. Smith, and we also have who applied and accepted our Australian correspondent, Emily.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, Emily, this one's for you.
This one's for you. Unfortunately, there is zero Australian slang or jargon that we can inquire about,
Yeah. As far as we know,
as far as we know.
it's all fantasy. So,
Yeah.
maybe this is normal in Australia.
Who knows? Maybe,
Australia itself is like a fantasy.
yes, instead of calling them days, you call them moons. Who
Yeah.
knows?
I'd believe it. But yes, yeah, shout out to Emily.
Yes. Shout out to one of our number one listeners. But this
Hmm.
book is called The Curse of Seven.
Yeah, I know. And it's super cool. It's her first novel. We're in on the
Yes.
ground floor.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So self-published, indie author. If you follow her on TikTok or Instagram, you can like follow her whole journey as she's writing the book, how she's editing it, when she was getting them
Mm,
published. So it was really cool to be a
that's
little
cool.
piece of that.
Yeah. Man, I'm excited. And it's a whole series, which I'm excited about.
It's a whole series. I think she said it's going to be a duology, so two books.
Oh, okay. So it's just two.
Yes. But in lieu of the author recap, because there's no information on her on the internets, I just sent her an email. And so we'll see. Maybe she'll
Wow.
respond back and then we'll know. And one of my questions was about future books in the world.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yes.
Wow. We could be the internet source on information on KS Elliot.
We
What do
might
you
need
think
to make
about that?
her,
We
we
make
could
the
make her Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yes.
We should. Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun.
Oh my
I would
God.
love that if I wrote a book and then, because when did this come out? Recently, right?
Like a month ago.
Oh my gosh, a month later, someone makes a Wikipedia page about me. I'd be floored. Let's
I would
do
be
it.
honored.
Yeah.
Okay. On our to-do list.
All right, KS Elliot. We're making you a Wikipedia page. So I hope your email is very informative. Or maybe she doesn't want her private email being on Wikipedia.
Well, not her
We could
email
ask.
address, but her
No,
messages,
no,
you
no.
mean?
But her, yeah, maybe she wrote something though that was like, oh, my one dedicated fan who I want to write this personal email to, I'll do that. And now we put it on Wikipedia.
Oh,
I did not want everyone to know where I went to high school.
that's true. That's true. I did put as a disclaimer, I said I'm going to ask a lot of questions, and normally I would just find this on someone's Wikipedia, but feel free to like not answer. And some of them is like,
Okay.
is your real name? What is your name? Or is this a pet name? How old are you?
Where do you live?
Where do you live? What's your address? Those were the questions I was asking.
Oh
So I
my
was like,
gosh.
this is alarming, but this is the show. So
Would you think it's a real email from bookaliciouspod@gmail.com? Would you trust it? Or would you think it's a phishing email? Is it scam? Oh
it would be
no.
a really, okay, number one, it would be a really clever scam, and I might pick that up as a side hustle.
Oh, no. Forget Patreon.
Forget Patreon. We don't need you. Keep your
Scam
dollar.
Rion. Yeah.
So I think that's a genius idea. But no, I don't think she thinks it's fake because I did message her on socials once, letting her know that I got the book and I really enjoyed it.
Mm.
And then I put a link to the show. And
Oh.
it would be a really dedicated scam to do 2 years of podcasts to
And
then
then just
try.
poach out all these authors.
Yeah.
Maybe this whole podcast has been generative AI.
Yes, exactly. Exactly right. Okay, but are we ready to judge his book by its cover?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. First, welcome to Bookalicious. I was thinking about what all we need to do. This is Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy,
I'm Candace.
and today we are talking about Curse of the Seven by K.S. Elliot. Woohoo!
Yes.
Our newest indie author.
Yes. Love to support. Okay. So, Chrissy, how are you reading this book?
Oh, I'm reading it on Kindle.
And
And I
it's
think it's,
free
yeah. Yeah,
on,
everyone, Kindle Unlimited. Get the book for free. It's awesome. Recommend.
yes. Yes. I bought this as a pre-order, so I can't guarantee what would happen if you purchased on Amazon because I think if you purchase on Amazon, they do their print to order. And so it might be a different style of book than what I got.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
But the book that I have, it's very like sturdy. The pages are like very nice. The cover is like that soft kind
Mm.
of that material we've talked about. It's kind of velvety almost.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, that seems like a nice quality book.
Yeah, it's a nice quality book. It smells really good.
That's one of
Fresh
our criteria
paper.
now.
Has not been in the bathroom.
Brag, brag, brag.
Yes. So yes, all of those things are really good. What do you think of the primary cover?
Okay, so cover is a lady in, it's all very purplish, dark purplish, blackish.
Hmm.
She is, I'm trying to think about what character her suit looks like. It looks like a, I don't know, like Samus or something. Or is there like a movie
Oh,
that I'm thinking of?
she has like a
Like a
stone in the
warrior.
middle.
Yeah. It's like a tight-fitting warrior
Are you
uniform.
thinking Samus, which is like a
The
AI
robot guy.
bot, or are you thinking of a samurai?
I was thinking about whoever was on Super Smash, but I don't even know
Yeah,
if
that was
that's who I'm
Samus.
thinking of.
A little
Oh
bit.
yeah, Samus. The Samus without the robot cover.
Yeah, when she's in her girly pop outfit.
Yeah.
Yes. She
What are those shoes she's wearing? She has like high heel electric fire blasters or something.
It's weird because the Samus character, when she's in her metal suit, she has flats on. But when she takes off her metal suit, she's in high heels. Like her flats pop up to turn into high heels to make that booty pop.
What? Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, all right.
So
Good
there you go.
marketing.
She does kind of look like Samus. So it's like a very tight-fitting bodysuit, and then she kind of has this like thin sword, maybe a katana, perhaps.
Oh wow, look at you with your sword knowledge.
I'm not a ninja, so don't quote me on that.
I don't know what that is, so I'd believe it.
Okay. I think it's like a very thin Japanese sword. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Luscious flowing hair.
yeah, blood splatter on her face.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, she loves to kill.
Yeah. He loves to kill. Okay. So, what do you think about the cover?
I think it's a great cover. I think it definitely gets the point across that it's like fantasy kind of
Hmm.
thing. I don't typically pick up those books. So I'll be
Yeah.
honest, if I saw the book, eh, maybe like 50-50 whether I'd pick it up. Maybe more like 60-40 or 70-30, leaning towards not picking it up since I
Or
don't typically
100
read.
0.
100-0. But it's a nice cover. So it's so nice that I might pick it up, but maybe not,
Yeah.
you know?
So, I really enjoy fantasy. Um, I think the reason why I would not pick this book up is because it's a little YA looking.
Oh, I could see that.
And whenever I see YA, I'm terrified of the love triangle. So I flee, I run. If I were YA and not just A, meaning like if I was
If
not
you
an old
were,
woman,
yeah.
if I were a young woman, I would pick this up and I would probably really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I get some YA vibes.
Yeah. Okay. Book is judged.
Yep. Verdict
We would
was
both say
said.
pass.
We'd probably pass. Yeah,
We'd
that's
probably
true.
say pass. Yeah. But I think that's more speaking about us than the cover.
Yeah. Just
Chrissy's
the
not a
types of
fantasy
books we're into.
junkie. Yeah, Chrissy's not fantasy junkie, and I'm not YA junkie. However, I feel like for fantasy, it does a good job of like introducing all of the concepts.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, because you have
Yeah.
her, you have the stone,
Hmm.
Yeah, blood.
Yeah.
What other
Oh, I wasn't even
concepts?
talking about the cover. I was talking about like in terms of like the book itself. I've
Oh.
transitioned away from the cover. The
Oh,
cover's
okay,
gone.
never mind.
I
Okay.
put the prop down.
Yeah. We're on to our next act.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just saying, like, in comparison to Elantris
Oh, yes.
or our other indie author that we love,
Fox's tongue and
Allison.
Kieran's bone. Yeah. Allison
I was
M.
like, I can't. Allison MK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allison MK or Elantris, where it's like they do not tell you nothing.
I know.
You got to figure it all out. You got to
Ah,
scrape and scrimp
oh
for
my
all of it.
gosh. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. KS Elliot, she has a whole little intro where she says, here's a definition of some words you'll come across. I was like, that's
Lovely.
really helpful.
Yes.
Yeah. That actually was one of my questions for you, though, is that do you like having it written out so explicitly, or do you like having to kind of discover it, like with Sanderson or Allison MK?
I, if, okay, what I'll say is
Goodbye,
if,
Francis.
oh no,
She just,
she's been
just threw her into
abducted.
the pool.
She's been abducted by aliens.
Yes. It happens in our fantasy world.
Oh, I forgot to tell you this, but I met someone named Claire Francis.
You did? You're
I did.
kidding.
I did.
Where?
At a baby shower.
Was she, how old was she generally?
Probably
About?
about like late 20s.
Oh my gosh, young and hip.
Yeah,
Claire
and she was
Francis.
Claire Francis, and she was living a prosperous, healthy life.
Oh my gosh, as all Claire Francis's would.
Yes, yes. So,
Wow, that's
mhm,
great. For context, we named our child Frances Claire, which we think
yes.
is so beautiful. And a lot of people don't agree.
A lot of people don't agree, but I talked to Claire Francis and she agreed.
I
She
bet
said,
she
beautiful.
would. Yeah,
Yeah,
it sounds a little off. Like it should be flipped.
it almost sounds reversed.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So your question, do I like having the vocab words in the beginning?
Yes.
I,
And things just explained throughout the book because she does explain it like in the first few chapters too, of like this power does this.
yeah.
Do you like that?
Typically I prefer that.
Mm.
Like Allison's book, she would not explain anything until perhaps in a whole other book later.
I know. We're still not entirely sure we got the how
We're
things
still
work.
not at, exactly. And so it's like for the purpose of like the book recap, it was actually quite good because then we're able to talk about it and tease and like think through all of it.
Hmm.
But if I'm just casually reading, I don't want my book to be difficult.
Yeah. Hers was a little too difficult, I
Yeah,
think, for me to continue reading if we weren't talking about it.
right, exactly. And same thing with Sanderson. Like when I read Elantris the
Yeah.
first time, I only got like half of it.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, I really liked it, but I don't really know exactly what was going on."
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it was helpful
Yeah.
having you as my little guide when we read Elantris.
Yeah, and going so slow. So with fantasy books, I do prefer to have like a character glossary. Some will do that, a character glossary. I love a character glossary because then I can flip
Those are
back
helpful.
with the names. You just forget people if you're going to be introducing. And then when a lot of the names are very similar,
Yeah,
I get confused.
agreed. Hmm. I
What do
agree.
you think?
Yeah, I liked how she had all the powers in the beginning because then when I was reading it, I immediately understood. And I was like, ah, this is nice. I can already follow along. I don't mind having like a little bit more kind of discovery or like challenge to picking up what everything is. Um, but overall, I felt like that was helpful to just start in the book and immediately know what's going on.
Yeah, so you would have preferred a little bit more of like the tease.
Maybe I wouldn't have minded a little bit more of the tease. Um, yeah, that's what I would say.
Hmm.
But it wasn't off-putting that she already explained it all. It was very
Yeah.
convenient.
Yeah. I agree with that. So, what are your high level thoughts of the book? So, we've read up until chapter 14 or through
Hmm.
14.
I have finished chapter 14. Candy's finished the book.
Yeah.
She's
What
once
are
again
your
our guide.
thoughts? Yes. What are your thoughts so far in the book? What are you thinking?
Okay, so I'm thinking I think it's a really cool premise with like we'll get into the summary, but there's like the crystals and how like the world is structured. Um, I think it's fun with the main character like being on a mission to overthrow the king. Did kind of remind me a little bit of Fox's Tongue in that way.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, the characters have a lot of like spunk and personality, so that's
Hmm.
cool. So yeah, liking the concept and the world that she's built. Um, yeah, I would say sometimes the scenes kind of jump. Like I feel like the pacing feels a little like rushed, maybe,
Yeah.
where we could maybe spend more time fleshing out certain scenes or like backstories or something.
Hmm.
I think I think I might like that.
This is one of those books where I think it could almost do better by being a little longer.
Mm.
I think we
Hmm.
say that almost never, but we did
Yeah.
say that about, we said the same thing about Allison's book,
Yeah, that's right. We did. A little more
where
explanation.
just a little more explanation, a little bit more like giving character motivations. Why, okay, you said this one line, but like, can we get a little bit more?
Yeah. I think also showing and not telling, because I think there's a lot of telling where it's like this is like this character likes this for this reason. So like she says it, but I think I would have appreciated like a story that would like show it,
Yes.
maybe, you know?
Yes, exactly. And you'll find out by the end of the book, well, they're already kind of showing it, is that it's a big cast.
Yeah,
It's a big cast for 300 pages.
that's true.
By
Yeah, so
big
there's only so
cast, I
much you
mean,
can
well, there's
say.
like 8 main people.
Ah,
And I
yeah,
think
okay.
that makes it difficult to really get to know any individual one super well, aside
Yeah.
from Alexia and Briar.
Right. I wonder too, I don't know if she talked about this in her publishing videos, but I was listening to Brandon Sanderson's lecture series
Oh.
and oh, and we watched that TikTok video of him like explaining the business of publishing books.
Hmm.
Anyways, and he talked about how like people don't want to print big books because they're way more expensive than small books in a lot of different
Yes.
ways. And so I'm wondering how that publishing was for her and if they asked her to cut out things because maybe it was longer. And they were like, your max is
Oh.
300 pages. So do what you can.
That's interesting. Okay, so I sent KS Elliot information for author recap, and then if she responds, then I'm just going to reply back with even more questions.
She has no idea what's coming for her.
She has no idea more work is coming down the pipe.
Oh my gosh.
So I think that would be a really interesting question because I think like the independent publishing process is very interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really cool to hear about what that experience was like for her or just her
Hmm.
own editing process of like because that's a question we have sometimes of like did you ever consider this ending?
Yes.
That would be
Yes.
cool.
So something that I read from one of the other reviews or on her socials is that KS Elliot would write like a chunk of the book. She would do the edits, but once she decided it was done, she did not like re-edit it.
Oh, okay.
And so part of that I think was for her to see like the evolution or the growth of her writing ability throughout the book.
Ah, yeah. And is that also like so you're not just keep rehashing the same thing? Because I could see you feeling like it's never done, but if she just said like, all right, it's I'm gonna say it's done. I'm not gonna look at it again. Is
Right.
that what
So
you're
I saw
saying?
this, yeah, I saw this in one of the Goodreads reviews now that I'm thinking about it. And I think what the review said was like it was cool, like the concept. I think you're right about you can just tinker forever, so at some point you just have to be done with it. But
Yeah.
when she was complete with the book, she didn't do like a final pass on any of like the chapters that she had checked
Oh,
like complete. you know?
Oh, I see. So once it was all together, she never went back again.
That's what I'm assuming from this review that I read. I asked her in my email, so we'll see if we
Oh,
get
okay.
clarity on that.
Yeah.
But I think you'll notice towards like the end, her writing does get stronger as she goes.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay. Huh.
But that did make the beginning part. There would be like parts where like we flip to a new scene. I think this is what you're talking about with it being like feeling like a little choppy. We'll flip to a new scene, and me as the reader, I wasn't prepared for it.
Yes.
I'd be like, "Where are we? What happened?"
Right. Yeah. Agree. That did happen sometimes. Yeah. So you have to kind of like reread it a few times to be like, catch what's going on.
Yes. Or it would be like one sentence would hinge everything that happens for the next page, and if you accidentally skimmed it or missed it, that's what I found myself doing a lot, where it'd be like, I'm like, what happened? Where are they? And I'm like, oh, I missed this one line that said that they went to blah blah blah.
Yeah. 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 It's not super clear, like delineations.
Yeah, like I think what some authors do that I really like is they'll do like the dots
Oh, yeah.
in between the chapter to kind of indicate that, oh, we're in a new spot.
Yeah.
So,
That is helpful.
yeah.
I
But
know. But overall, still got the story. And the story's really
story
cool.
story's very interesting. The plot is very compelling, and I'm really excited to talk about it.
Yeah. Are we ready for that? Did you have any other high level thoughts before the summary?
No, let's do it.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So we have a whole summary here, um, starting with the history of the land where we are and this whole world building. So we find all this out like as you're reading the book, but we have just rearranged it so it's a little bit more chronological. Okay.
Yes.
So many moons ago, there was a giant war across the land. One just knight wanted to bring peace to the land, and he stumbled upon a cave full of crystal. The god Dia appeared, and the knight asked for help ending the war. She gave him a crystal called Omnia. The knight gained the power of wind, earth, water, fire, strength, and vision. I might have missed one. He gained
There
seven
should be
powers.
seven.
I think I only listed six, but I
Oh,
couldn't figure out
healing.
healing. Okay, good. I realized as I was reading, it's like, oh, I meant to go back and edit this. Okay.
Healing. Yeah. Okay.
Talking about editing. Okay, so he gained the powers of wind, earth, water, fire, strength, healing, and vision. Seven of them. And he ended the war. He then let the energy from the crystal dissipate, so everyone had these powers, and they crowned him the king. The land was prosperous, and everyone was happy for many years. The king's son was greedy, however, and wanted to keep all the powers for himself. He returned to the cave of crystal, and instead of finding the god Dia, he found the devil, Malum. Malum said, "Kill your father, and I'll give you the power you want." The prince said, "No problem." The prince, he's like, "I was waiting for you to ask me."
Yes.
Okay. Prince killed the dad, returns to Malum, and following Malum's instructions, he places his hands on the Omnia crystal. The crystal then splinters into seven pieces, each holding one of the powers from the original crystal.
Hmm.
Since that moment, everyone has only had one power that I this is something I was trying to piece together, that this power is given to them at their coronation or
Yeah.
they're born with it. Okay. All right. So at their coronation, everyone's given a power, and the coronation is kind of like a global bat mitzvah thing where kids come of
Yes.
age blessed with this power.
What is not clear to me is do you have like intermixed families? Is it like
Yeah.
random?
Because also, doesn't it seem like there's different places where each power lives? Pretty much all the seers are in this one area. All the
Yeah,
strength people are here. And isn't there kind of like a hierarchy too?
there is. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not sure either how that works.
Right. So I'm not sure if it's just kind of like, okay, your parents are
Random?
this. Is it like, is it something that's like it's in your blood or something and it's not random?
Yeah, is it
And
like a sorting hat where it chooses you?
right,
Or do they just need more healers that year, so they create more healers? I don't know.
right. That part's not
Unclear.
clear.
Yeah,
But
that'd be interesting.
it definitely is like a caste system. And so the king, he has the power of strength. And
Hmm.
so he's like, that one's the best. And so those people get taught how to use it, and everyone else is just like on your own, homeless.
Yes. So that's a big thing that comes up. And I think is only the royal people taught how to use their powers. That was kind of the impression I got.
Okay, so it might be if you're royal of any power, you get taught, but the strength ones, they're all taught and then they're immediately put into the army.
Yes. Okay.
What they're fighting, I don't know.
That's true. I think they're keeping everyone else in check, is what we've learned so far.
Yeah,
So our main character is a little criminal girl. She keeps getting chased around by all the guards.
yeah. So,
I don't
okay.
know. But that's one of the qualms that our main character Alexia has is that if people were educated on how to use their powers, they could use them a lot better and like
Hmm.
everyone would be better off. But the royalty is like keeping the power to themselves by not educating everyone.
I really liked that theme
That
of,
was cool.
yeah, using education as a way to suppress
Hmm.
people and keep them down. I just thought that was a nice like political theme to tie into the book.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. Okay.
All right, ready for the plot?
Yes. Okay. So that's the world we're in. And now we're picking up with Alexia, who has the power of vision, and and her best friend Briar, who has earth power. And these are two Aladdin-style street rats working as criminal contractors for mob boss Mac. Alexia's life mission is to fulfill her late parents' mission and kill King Devereaux. King Dev began experimenting on civilians, although I'm not really sure what for. I'm assuming something to do with their powers,
Yeah.
like how they work or something like that. But he began all these like terrible experiments on them. And Alexia's parents led the rebellion against King Dev. Alexia's parents were killed, but Alexia escaped. Although I also had a question on that because I thought she was pretty young, but
She
somehow she
was
makes it out.
young. That does get answered.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So I just haven't read that far. Okay. So
Yeah.
her parents were killed. Alexia escapes, and Alexia has been on her own with a thirst for revenge ever since. She met up with Briar, who I'm assuming is also a little family-less boy.
Yeah, he's also homeless.
Okay, poor Briar.
Yeah.
Okay. She meets Briar. She tells him about her plan to kill the king. He says, I'm cool with it, and I'll help you. So now they're running together.
Yes.
Okay. Mac is the least evil of all the town mob bosses. So that assuages Briar's guilt of living a life of crime. Yeah, Briar has all these like moral dilemmas with their way of getting money. Alexia's like, we gotta eat, so
Yeah,
don't care.
exactly.
And so Briar's like, all right, I guess so. Okay, so Mac is the least evil. Mac has not given Briar or Alexia work for a full month, so they are on the brim of being homeless and are also starving. Mob
Yes.
boss Mac says he has no work to give out, but it's revealed that he has been giving their jobs away to the rich, handsome mystery man with black hair and blue eyes that we later learn.
Ooh.
I know.
Who could that be?
Devilishly handsome.
Reese?
I was getting so many Akatar vibes from this.
Yes.
Were you? We can talk about it
Yes.
later, but oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So this mystery man, later we learn his name is Slater. So
Yeah.
just keep that in your back pocket. Okay.
You learn out
As
later
an
his name's Slater.
ah, ha,
Meh.
ha,
Okay.
ha. It all comes up Slater. Okay. As an effort to thank Alexia and Briar for their patience on getting jobs, Mac sends them on a suicide mission to steal a pendant from the most evilest of the crime bosses. They say, got it.
We got it.
Alexia finds the pendant, swipes an ancient journal, and then, after realizing she was set up by mob boss Mac, she leaves a note on the evil boss's desk saying, Love, Mac.
Yes. I really liked that.
I know. It's like, oh my gosh.
Like,
Wreaking havoc.
wouldn't the evilest boss think like, oh, someone's setting up Mac?
I kind of also thought that. Also, I thought it was so funny because Alexia was like, I would never do something to Mac personally. So then I thought her letter was going to say something else, but no, it pointed directly to Mac. And I was like, oh, by personally, you meant you weren't going to kill him. I was
I
like,
did
okay.
this,
I
Mac.
know.
But maybe crime bosses do that sometimes.
Oh, like they just want to know that they got a leg up on the other person.
Yeah, I do
So
feel like
even
that
if I
sometimes.
die, at least you'll know.
Well, so if Mac actually did it, he would be like trying to like pick a fight, being like, I did this.
Mm,
Why? I don't know. Bring fear into his heart.
unclear.
But then Mac would be prepared for the retaliation. But since Mac doesn't know about
Mm,
it, I don't think he's going to be prepared.
no, no.
Mm-mm.
Might be the last we see of Mac.
That that might be. Okay.
Unclear. Okay. So all that happens. And now, summarizing the rest of what happens, Alexia has garnered a ragtag team to help her mission. So far, we have Luca, Slater, Damien, and Nyasaki. So, going through each of those characters, Luca is one of the king's guards who we first meet when he's trying to capture and arrest Alexia for stealing. Alexia escapes. He's intrigued because she's known as the uncatchable girl. He asks her out for beers. She says yes. And
Ah!
now they're dating. I
Yes.
was floored. I said, I had a lot of questions about all of that, which we can get into now or later. Maybe now.
Let's do it now.
Okay,
I had a
so
lot as well.
I have so many questions about this because, yeah, the very first scene is Alexia running for her life away from Luca. She makes it, whatever. Okay, then, like the next day or something, she and Briar are outside. And then Briar says, oh, I see your love interest is coming. And she said, what do you mean? And it was Luca, the guard. And I was like, shouldn't they be worried that Luca's here? What, doesn't he want to still arrest her? I don't know. But so then Briar kind of like sets her up on this thing, and then Luca asks her out for beers, and then she says yes. And each of those things I was very surprised by.
It was shocking to me. When he said like, "Okay, you're the uncatchable girl," I could kind of understand like the sport of it,
Being intrigued.
being intrigued, but like very clearly he does not take his job seriously.
Yeah.
Because like this is a criminal that you're trying to you
I
and everyone else
know.
is trying to catch. And then you're just kind
Right?
of like, let's go on a date.
Yeah. And then like are the other guards, do they see her? Do they recognize her? It seems like they would since they all know her as the uncatchable girl. But are they just fine with
Yes.
it?
And I think the other thing that also blows my mind away is that once again, this is me wondering why is Luca into her? Because when she describes herself, I wrote, she sounds like she smells.
What was the description?
Let me see. I need to
Oh my
find it.
gosh.
It was really, it was like, all right, number one is that she doesn't have any shoes on ever.
Yes.
She's running around this town shoeless. I was like, oh my gosh, your poor feet.
Oh, it says like her hair has been in a braid, the same braid for the last month or something.
Okay, here it is. All right.
Okay.
He says, arrest you? Why would I arrest someone so beautiful? Beautiful? She hadn't thought about herself that way before. Sure, her mom used to call her beautiful, but wasn't that what a mother was supposed to say? She noted her bare feet, her tattered tunic, and her brown hair in a moon's old plait. Alexia supposed her hair did catch glimmers of gold strands when she was in the sun, but that wasn't enough to warrant a compliment. And goes on and on and on. But it's like you're imagining her. She's shoeless. She's in a tattered Dobby the house elf like gown, and then her hair hasn't been washed in a month.
Oh my gosh. I know. And then later on, she does get to take a bath and she's like, it's been ages since I've taken a bath. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
she eventually does get like her glow up, but right now she is full street urchin.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of questions as to why this attraction started, but my bigger shock was that the date went well. They had the best time of their lives. And I said, what?
Yeah.
No way. Did you believe it, or did you think Luca was trying to set her up?
At first, I was like, okay, the thing about like her smelling and like where is this attraction coming from? Like that was crazy. Briar mentions off the cuff something about like a love bond.
Yes.
And I was
Yes. The
like, what?
tether.
The
Remember the
tether.
tether? I know.
I was
I
so
said, it's Akatar.
Akatar. So I was like, maybe he's just getting pulled in, even though she's smelly and repulsive. He can't help it.
I
So
know. She
that's
said
kind
maybe
of
it
where I
was the
was with that.
tether. I know. Oh my gosh. Do you want me to read? Is there actually a tether, or is this just like hypothetical? Like you said, like, oh, there's a bond between them. Or is this like an actual thing in this
A
world?
rope.
A
So
rope?
Alexia, somewhere in this segment, she postulates that. She says, "Oh, my mom said something about being like tethered or bound to people," but she was like, "Is it a physical thing? Like, I don't know." So we don't know.
She never got like the birds and the bees talk from her parents.
No,
So now we don't either. So we don't know how it works in this world.
no, I agree.
Hmm.
There was like a lot of inner dialogue that Alexia had regarding their date, and I was like, "This is really relatable," because she sees him again, and he's very
Oh,
dismissive of her.
yeah.
And then she's just like, Alexia ran through every possibility as to why Luca was acting like this. He didn't enjoy their date as much as she thought he had. He hated her. He truly was only on their date with her so he could plot her death. And then da 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 da. And I was like, that's exactly what I would be thinking.
I know. There were a lot of lines where I was like, yep. Relatable. I can see that.
Relatable queen. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, but that last part, I was like, he's totally plotting your death. I did not trust Luca. Even later on when he comes back, I'm like, he's still trying to kill you. I didn't trust him.
So what do you think his role is then?
Well, by the point where I've read now I'm like, okay, I guess what he's saying is genuine, but I thought he was trying to catch her, the uncatchable girl. So this
Yeah.
was a new tactic they hadn't tried yet. Give her food and she'll come.
Lure her in until she falls
Yes.
asleep.
Yeah. Like brilliant. So I thought he had devious motives.
Yeah. I always felt like Luca was, to spoiler to Akatar 1 and 2, he was the Tamlin.
The strength.
He was the Tam Tam. He was the first love that turns out to be super toxic
Mm.
and does not work out well. And Slater is the Reese who
Oh,
comes
yes,
in.
he's definitely. I thought Slater was Reese too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess you finished it. I'll see by the end of the book what happens.
yeah, but that's how I felt through the beginning of the book. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Any other thoughts on Luca?
Um, Once we get to the end with Luca, I do have more questions, but let's keep going.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we're going through each member of the ragtag team. First was Luca.
Hmm.
Next is Slater, the
Yep.
mystery man, hottie guy.
Hmm.
Okay. So Slater is this hoity-toity guy that Alexia and Briar met while they're getting a job from their mob boss, Mac. Alexia and Briar instantly disliked him, but he kept popping up in their lives. He ends up joining their little caravan to this year's coronation, and he keeps following them, which greatly annoys Alex and Briar, but then he buys them all a night at a five-star resort during their travels back home. You would think this would help smooth things over between them, but Alex and Briar still hate him and purposefully don't say thank you. I was shocked. I said, "Oh my gosh, how rude."
Their dislike for Slater had me laughing.
They just they just hate him.
So, like, some of the dialogue, Briar would just be like, he would say, like, Slater would say something, and Briar would just be like, "Shut up!" I'm like, "Oh
Like, you
my
idiot.
God!"
I'm like, what?
And they're like, Slater stole our job, but Slater didn't. Slater applied for a job and received one.
I know. It was mob boss Mac who was fooling them.
Yes. So I don't get why they hate him so much. It feels like a lot of misdirection.
I kind of agree. I wonder though, he's this rich guy with shoes who comes in. And so maybe he just represents all of like the higher ups in the land or something. And so
Yes.
there's like the class tension there. And so yeah, they're misdirecting all of their hatred towards the, royalty to Slater.
Yes. So I can understand that. And this will probably be part of the bonus episode. Remind me about this, but just a
Mm.
quick teaser. I went to this baby shower and it was like at a palace, and I walked out of my beat up Prius and there was a man in a golf cart, and he asked if I wanted a ride up the driveway to the house instead of
Whoa.
walking.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
That's wild.
yeah, I was immediately like, I don't fit in here.
Yeah, like, actually, I'll get in my Prius and leave.
Yeah, actually, I gotta go. So I could understand that because it's like everyone was so nice and everything was so lovely, but I immediately was kind of like on my defense because I was like, they're
Oh,
gonna know
yeah.
I'm poor,
I
you know?
know. They're gonna smell the poverty.
Yeah, they're gonna see my bare feet.
You know where else we talked about feet?
Elantris.
Oh, we did. No, I forgot about that. You're right. Feet actually come up a lot. We have at least two polls that have to do with feet. Oh, toenails.
Okay, both of those are Brandon Sanderson.
One was Princess of Baymar, I think.
Oh, I was thinking of Tress.
Tress is we have two I think we have two polls about feet. One was red flag or deal breaker. He cuts his toenails and names them. That was Tress by Brandon Sanderson. The other one was red flag or deal breaker. He's magical and perfect, but he never cuts his toenails.
Oh my
That
God.
was Princesses of Baymar
Yes.
by Gail. But that neither of those were the books I was thinking of. But yes, feet come up a lot in our
Yeah.
conversation.
Feet
The
have come
book,
up a lot.
yes, the book I was thinking of was Akatar and Akomoff, where it's her ungrateful feet from the love poem.
God, I forgot. You're right.
So
She
yeah,
didn't.
Alexia totally has ungrateful feet. Tramples all over Slater's love.
Just the number of times her shoeless feet come up, I was always like, girl, get some shoes out of the dumpster. Steal shoes.
Oh my gosh, you're right. She never thought of that one.
Ugh.
Maybe it'd slow her down. That's how she's so quick.
Well, later on, Slater's like, we gotta get shoes for those puppies. And I'm like, thank God someone's looking out for her. And she's like, no, I don't need them. I was like, you're rotten.
I know. But she's like, you know what? I'll take his money. And then she takes the shoes. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
She
Slater.
leans into Sugar Baby and she's
I
like, okay.
know. I could live this life if he's
Yeah.
offering. Okay, so what did you think of Slater? Did you hate him? Did you have questions about him?
Um, I really liked Slater as a character. I found him very interesting. He seemed to me like an adult. And
I know he
Alexia and Briar,
does.
yeah, and Alexia and Briar feel like little kids
They do.
staging an
Running around.
insurrection. Yeah,
Yes.
but Slater, I'm like, he's like one to watch. Like, I'm really into him. My biggest question with him was, why is he following them around?
I have no idea. He likes to bother them, is what it seems like. I don't know. Is he sent on a mission? You've already read the book, so you know. But maybe he was sent on a mission because he's talking to Mac. Why is he talking to Mac? Why is he
Right.
in the criminal business? He seems too business class for that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I found Slater very mysterious.
Hmm. I would, yes, he is definitely very mysterious. I had a question about him because it seems like he also likes Alexia. I was
Well,
like,
everyone does.
why? I know that's why she reminded me of Fei Fei. Everyone loves her and we don't know why.
Ugh, I know. She's so dirty and she's so mean to him.
I know she's so mean. Like, what? Okay.
But I was really glad that Alexia was like, I hate Slater's stinking guts, and I just have my one guy, Luca.
That's true. She does not want to be in the triangle.
I appreciated that. It's
Mm-hmm.
really just like Alexia and Luca, and then Slater like in the corner, and they're just like being mean to him. The loser with all the money and the good looks in the corner. Like, what a turn of events.
Yeah, we really are in fantasy.
Yeah. So I loved when they were being so mean to Slater. I found it
Oh my gosh.
funny.
Ah. Yeah, poor Slater.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why did he remind you of Reese from Akatar?
Well, how he was described.
Dark and handsome.
Handsome and mysterious and like secretly obsessed with Alexia for
Yes.
no good reason. And like all this money and just seeming very powerful. He
Hmm.
feels like he has like secret power.
Oh, he has some like dark magic or something.
Yes,
Oh yeah, I could
exactly.
see that. Yeah,
Hmm.
nice. There was why he reminded me of Reese. There's one scene when they're in their five-star hotel and she takes her luxurious shower and she's like, I haven't showered in ages. And then she comes out and then Slater is there
Oh
just
God.
sitting on a chair. And I was like, you're not shot, like you're not scared. She's like, oh, good. She's like, she heard someone in there. She's like, who is it? And then she looks, she's like, oh, it's just Slater who let himself into my private hotel room. Sitting on the chair. I was like, you're not scared?
She's like, he's so unattractive and he's such a loser. I don't even care that he's in here while I'm in the
No.
buff.
Right. I was like, what? Oh my gosh. But anyways,
I forgot
wild.
about that scene. You're right. That was crazy. But I do feel like there is a difference in like chastity and maybe like sex or, what am I trying to think? Modesty.
Intimacy, modesty. Okay.
Yeah, because like Alexia and Briar, like they're sleeping in the same bed. They're like brother, sister. They're
Yeah.
like taking baths together. It's just like not a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could
So
see that.
part of me wonders if is in this world, is that just not a thing?
Yeah. I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah, because like Alexia is so unfazed that it makes
Yes.
me think that like, okay, it's just like a whatever. Everyone has a public bath or something.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, I have a
Hmm.
question kind of related to that, but I'll save it for the end.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Next person in our ragtag team is Damien, who is Slater's
Hmm.
friend and just kind of showed up with him. He doesn't say much and is an excellent fighter and healer and starts training Alexia on how to fight.
That was weird. So Slater's like, I'm gonna follow these two ragamuffins around town. And he's like, Damien, close up your shop. We're we're going on a road
Oh,
trip.
that's right. He was at the booth. Oh,
Yeah. He's like, you
yeah.
have a family? Dump them.
New family.
New family. We're following these ragtags.
Yes.
You're like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Crazy. Did Damien sell the ointment? Is that what he? Okay. Did
So
not sell
he
shoes.
makes the ointment. Yeah, he makes the ointment and then he sells it. And
Okay.
it's very obvious that Damien and Slater are like buddies. They're like war buddies or
Oh
something.
yeah. Yeah, they're like besties. Okay, so that's right. So Damien is a fighter, but his power is healing.
Hmm.
And do we know Slater's power at this point?
I don't think we do.
I don't think I do either. Do you learn it
We
by the
just
end? Or is that a
You
spoiler?
definitely learn it by the end. Let me see. I wrote
Yeah.
down everybody's power
Oh.
in the beginning part of the book. I think he's V. I think he's strength.
Okay. I was thinking he might be strength.
Yeah.
So maybe did he
Mhm.
teach Damien how to fight? I don't know. Because you think
Well, so
Slater would know.
so Damien knows how to do like
Jujitsu.
the jujitsu, the kung fu. That's what he knows. He doesn't have like the power behind it.
Okay.
But when you're like the healers, if you're really powerful, then you can be healed like instantly. So you're pretty much invincible.
Wow. Okay. Very
So
cool.
that's like his thing. But Slater, like his punches are going to be a lot stronger than Damien's, but Damien can heal really fast. So that's kind of
Mm,
their
trade-off.
thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Damien seems great. I like Damien. Seems the
Yeah.
most normal of the bunch.
Again, Slater and Damien, they're the adults.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, okay. All right. So now last guy in our crew is Nayasaki. Or how are you saying his name?
I say Miyazaki, but
Miyasaki. Okay. I think either one.
why not?
Okay. And I think this one is the wildest one of all.
This is
So,
crazy.
yeah. Okay. So Alexia and Briar get a job from their mob boss Mac, while on the road back from the coronation. Mob boss Mac wants them to break Nayasaki, the land's most infamous serial killer, out of Azkaban, aka
Yes.
Minerva. So
Yes.
big prison there. They say, no problem. Guess we'll need to bring Slater and Damien along since they're following us. Alexia sends a letter to Luca to learn the layout of Minerva so they can hatch a plan. They break Nayasaki out and are going to return him to mob boss Mac, but Nayasaki says he hates that guy and will kill him. Alexia says, actually, I still need him for jobs. How about you just join us instead? And Nayasaki says, okay. And now
Yes.
he's part of the crew.
Yes. I think one of the most challenging parts of the book is Alexia just asks people to join the revolution and they say yes.
Yeah. No questions.
And sometimes you'll have a little bit of back and forth here or there, but it's not, as like a reader, it's not like abundantly clear to me what are the motivations for these things.
Right. I
N-
could see Nayasaki because, okay, so I haven't, what comes up later is Alexia is like, okay, we have this whole crew of people. Maybe I'll just get them in on my mission to kill the king, see if they're all on board. And they all say, yeah, let's do it.
Mhm.
Okay. So I could see though why each of these people would want to kill the king. So maybe she didn't need to do so much um persuasion. They really just needed someone to lead it, to like get the ball
Yeah.
rolling. They needed a planner. And Alexia is the one with the Google Calendar who started the planning. Because Ayasaki's been in prison for who knows how long.
But we don't know, was that
Why?
related to the king? It sounds like he was killing people.
I think so too. Okay, I got a lot of questions about Nayasaki because I thought it sounded like he was public enemy number one. Like everyone knows about this deadly serial killer. But then
Yeah.
they just waltz around with him
Yeah.
and they start staying in hotels and just walking out in public with Nayasaki. And I
Right.
thought that was very strange. I thought everyone would recognize him,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
That's a
wouldn't
good
they be
point.
like, oh my gosh, this whole group of ragamuffins broke him out of jail. We should do something.
You're right. I never even thought of that. That is a good point. You're like he has like the wanted posters everywhere and they're
Yeah.
like going into the inns, they're like snatching him down.
Puts on a mustache.
Puts on a mustache and a monocle and he's like, "You can't see me
Yeah.
now." The only thing I could think of is he was very like emaciated, it sounds like, when he was in
Mm.
prison.
Hmm.
So maybe he doesn't look super like he used to, but it was not explained in the
Yeah,
book.
I know. Or maybe
So
they don't have pictures around because maybe they don't have cameras in this world. So like they don't know what he looks like. Or they don't have newspapers.
I
I
was
don't
gonna say,
know.
I was like, no one's power is the power of art. So
Yeah.
no drawings. Don't know.
Yeah. That could be. So I don't know.
Yeah, so it could just be that they don't have like good pictures. It could be that he's been in there a long time. People aren't worried about it. If there was like a proper newspaper, then they would say the serial killer got out. Like keep the
I
eyes
know.
peeled.
Yeah.
I would have liked with. Miyazaki to know, okay, are you really a serial killer or were you like
Yes.
framed?
That's my question too, because he seems so nice. He's so pleasant. And everyone seems totally okay that they're just in the same group now, camping out with this serial killer who they
Right.
kidnapped. I don't know.
Right.
I
And
would be
like
worried.
the first night after they stay in the inn, they wake up the next day and Slater's like, Alexia, Miyazaki's gone. And they're like, oh my God, he went rogue. Like we broke this guy out and we didn't keep tabs on him. And they
I
were like,
know.
they were so worried, but he was just doing jujitsu with Damien. And they're like, okay, never mind.
Oh my
It's fine.
gosh. Okay. My huge question with that was Slater didn't walk outside to look for Nagasaki. Where did he look? So Alexia literally just walked outside and said, oh, there he is.
You know, Slater wanted to be in her room and see who's in here.
That's true. Ah. Yeah, Slater just needed an excuse to talk to Alexia.
Yeah, he wanted to bust in there, see if Luca was in there, see what they were doing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, other question with Nagasaki is when they break him out of jail, I thought this was a huge misstep. Briar goes and he uses his earth power to break open the lock, but they don't say a thing to Nagasaki. They just bust open the serial killer's jail cell without saying anything of like, hey, we're here to, break you out or something.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. It just seemed like a big misstep to not have any sort of agreement or conversation with the serial killer before releasing him from the jail.
Right. And then he immediately is like, I need to go kill Mac. And then Alexi's like,
They're like,
oh
no,
no.
like, put the jail back up.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a misstep on their part. I think that's one of the troubles when you describe Miyazaki as this horrible, horrible person, is like we as the reader didn't get like a redemption arc of any
Yeah.
sort or an
Yeah.
explanation to explain away, oh, he's actually not evil. He was put in there because, well, would have made sense to me. Oh, he was actually trying to overthrow the king. So he was killing all of these king people. So it makes sense why
Yeah.
he's like super motivated to join Alexia. And oh, he's not really that bad. That would have
I
been
believe
a
that.
really helpful backstory
Yeah, I could see that.
because we don't learn anything other than he hates Mac and he's a serial killer.
Those are the only two qualities I need in a friend.
That's all we know. Yeah. And now he's like rehabilitated. So I agree. That was strange.
Yeah.
So
Who knows? Oh, okay. One other funny thing here too is so while they're trying to come up with their plan to break Nagasaki out, Alexei sends a letter to Luca and says, hey, what's the layout of the jail? Because he works in government and he knows. And he like draws her a picture and he's like, oh, it looks like this. She's like, perfect. And then later he shows up and he says, hey, why did you want a picture of the jail? She says, we're breaking out Nagasaki. And he says, what?
yeah. Luca's got rocks for brains.
I know. He is Tam Tam.
He's Tam Tam. He's got rocks for brains. We have Slater in the corner who's rich and has the brain and is thinking.
He's orchestrating all of this.
Yeah. He's like, oh, my girlfriend just wants a map of the prison.
Some new room decor. She has an
I think
interesting
she
style.
I think she sent him a letter and she said, hey, I need some help. I need to know about this prison. And he knows that she's a street rat
Street rat.
doing crime. So I'm sure he knows that she was up to something nefarious, but maybe he thought it was like not that bad. And then she's like, "Oh, I took out the worst one." And then Luca's like, "Oh
Oh my gosh. I feel like that's how it played out.
no." Yes. Well, so the other part that we didn't talk about is that so Alexia writes Luca and she says, "Send me a map of the prison." And Luca says, "No problem, babe. Here it is." Then Luca meets up with them. And then Alexia's like, I'm gonna overtake the government. I want you to join. And Luca has like a little bit of reservations. He's the only person who's had any reservations. which makes sense because he works for the king. But then eventually he's like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
Well, okay. So she does kind of explain it because he was like, Alexia's like, there was a rebellion because the king was experimenting on all the civilians and all these things. And Luca was like, yeah, but those stories weren't true. Those are like made up. It's like a conspiracy theory.
Lucas said, he said, rebellion? That was an inconvenience. And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah. I was like, oh my
and
gosh.
Alexia, Alexia is like, my whole life has been hitching on this. And in the palace, they think that her parents' insurrection was like a blip.
Oh my gosh. I would crumble, just melt into a puddle. Like, what? I don't know, but you know what? They're still together, Alexia and Luca. So true love
Yeah.
overcame it.
What I, so, okay, it made sense when she was like, okay, this is what's happening, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, oh, that's like, if that was really what was happening, he's like, then I would be against it, which makes sense. What I
Yeah,
didn't like is that Alexia didn't bring any evidence
good point. Other than her good looks
other than her
and orphan
stories.
status.
Yeah. Which, okay, fine. But it's like, I feel like for me, if I were in the military and you need me to flip, I'm gonna need more than a story.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. But could she have had any evidence? I don't think so. Unless there was like a witness who was part of the experiments or who was part of the first rebellion or something like, I don't know, someone else's story.
Right. Well, so we find out the end of this section, Slater had been experimented on.
Yeah.
So he becomes her
True.
evidence that she can
Mm,
use in the future.
yeah. Okay.
So that is the piece that I feel like was needed for to turn
Luca.
Luca to be like, this is what my parents saw, and here is someone firsthand, like this is happening.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. Maybe she made it like this though because she's trying to say like Luca and Alexia have all this trust between them. So Luca trusted Alexia. But I agree that's kind of a
Oh,
big ask. Even if you trust them, seems wise to verify.
yeah. I see what you're saying, where it's like maybe they're just like their attraction to each other was just like so intense and real that it was just like, yes, anything that you say. I mean, okay, I could
Yeah.
kind of see that, but again, that makes it feel more YA, I guess, versus
Yeah.
you would have to be like, okay, but like, do you have receipts?
I reasonable. Reasonable
Reasonable.
question.
Yeah.
hmm
Okay.
Um okay, so we were talking about Nagasaki. Anything else with him or that
No.
whole
Just again, I think I would have liked some background.
yeah. Maybe it'll come later. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. Um, all right. So now the crew's together. Alexia tells them her whole mission about wanting to kill the king, to see if they're in or out. Everyone seems to hate the king, and they have no problem joining the treason party, so they all agree.
Okay,
Okay.
pause.
Oh yeah.
So that could have been one other thing is that maybe the king is so horrible to everyone, nobody needs convincing.
Oh, that's a good point. Because like no one's getting educated.
Yeah.
What we know so far is that it seems like there's a lot of street rats running around. People are
Hmm.
working for mob bosses to make money.
Yeah. There's like
Yeah.
poverty's rampant. Nobody's getting trained. There's like clear classism starting from the top.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So maybe
Hmm.
that's why there's not like a big story because they're like, yeah, the dude sucks.
Yeah. Okay. Has it just been like one after the other greedy kings since that first prince sold out his dad to the devil? Like, is that
Well,
kind of what you're thinking?
I think what happened is that once it was done, it couldn't be undone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And once everyone doesn't have equal, it's very difficult to not turn into like classism.
Mm. Okay.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it just kind of like snowballing. Like
Yeah.
each generation just keeps getting worse and worse. And the
Yes.
kings are like, yeah, we deserve this.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Once you start feeling like, oh, I deserve this, or I think a lot of people do it. Oh, you're in your circumstances because of the choices you made, or da da da
Yeah.
da da. Like, I don't need to help you. Ways to like dehumanize. Then once you're at a place of like dehumanizing, it's very, very easy to go like way off script.
Yeah. Yeah. So I could see that. Okay. So if we're in that situation, yeah, you don't really need a lot of convincing
Right.
to join
Yeah.
the treason. I could see it. Okay. So last big part of this whole story so far. So the crew begins making their way home and they camp out in the desert one night. Alexia can't sleep, so I think this is when she reads her journal. Is that right?
So she stole the journal at the very beginning of
Right.
the story, and it was like 1,000-year-old journal, and she's reading it, and it's like telling the story of the first king and how he finds the cave, and it was
Hmm.
in this area, and she was like, "Let me just walk around, see what happens," and then like a butterfly, like a glowing butterfly, is like, "Follow
That's right.
me," and then
Yeah.
she follows it, and then she runs into the quicksand.
Ah, okay, okay. Yes. So it follows a butterfly, runs into quicksand, and as she's like sinking down, she's crying out for help. She lands in the cave of the Omnia crystal. And then who
Hmm.
appears beside her, but Slater, who had started following her to make sure that she was safe. Who appears next but Dia the god. Dia calls Alexia a little fighter and tells her that revenge is a poison. She should not seek revenge, but retribution. Dia calls Slater a survivor and tells him to keep surviving. Lastly, Dia says that they will meet two more people on their journey and that Alexia should ask Slater what to do. Alexia asks Slater what she means by this, and Slater reveals that he is a secret child of King Dev. King Dev started doing his experiments on Slater, but Slater ran away, so then King Dev began experimenting on the civilians. That's when the last rebellion started and Alexia's parents were killed. So now Slater is fully on board with leading rebellion number two and killing his dad. Whoa.
Yes. So we don't know, even by the end, why are they doing the experiments? I'm wondering if they're trying to either like make the king's trying to figure out how to make his powers stronger by
I'm
testing on
thinking
people.
so. I feel like it's got to be something with giving the king more power.
Yeah. Or maybe he's trying to like create the original Omnia crystal again,
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a really good thought.
like trying to combine them all again and like doing whatever his little tests are to see if he can like get, if I hold the stones together, then blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I think something where the king will end up with more power, or he can like harness the people's power
Mm-hmm.
and like subdue them or something. So they're like his
Yes.
little minions.
Yes.
I could see that.
What is the difference between revenge and retribution?
Okay, I had to look up the words. I'm like, what exactly does this mean? And it made sense. Um, so retribution is punishment inflicted on someone as vengeance for a wrong or criminal act. I think
Okay.
revenge is just like getting back on someone, maybe even if they didn't necessarily do something wrong. Well, let's look it up. Revenge definition. Well, I don't know. Revenge says the action of inflicting hurt or harm on someone for an injury or wrong suffered at their hands. So I don't know. In both cases, someone did something bad.
Let's Google the difference.
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, oops. I looked up revenge versus revenge.
Uh, Said no difference.
Okay. So retribution says it's punishing someone for a wrong in a proportional and just way, often with a legal framework, while revenge is more personal, emotionally driven response that is often disproportionate and seeks satisfaction or emotional release for the victim.
Oh. So one sounds like you're trying to put the scales back to balance,
Yes.
and the other sounds like I'm taking like personal enjoyment out of this.
Yes. I think that's what it is.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's a good word of advice
Yeah,
from
it's a good
Dia.
line.
Yeah. I like that.
How old is Slater?
I don't know. 30? How old is Alexia? 20?
She's like 18.
Yeah, I think I think so. I don't know. Slater, if Alexia is 18, maybe he's like 25 or 27.
Well, the reason why I ask is because he says that, and maybe Slater has the timeline wrong, but he's like, oh, they used to only experiment on me. And then once I
Yeah,
ran away, then they started experimenting on people. Then that's what got Alexia's parents in on it. But it would take Alexia's parents a long time to see, understand, put everything together. It wouldn't be like within a year. It would be like, I would
right.
think like 10 years to put all that together.
I would think so. Unless it was just so blatant that it was quick. Because you're right. That would make him have to be like 40 or something.
Right.
Hmm.
Unless maybe they were only picking on the Videntis people because they're like the lowest
Uh,
tier,
those are the sightseeing
the site
power.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe so maybe it was just so like obnoxious in like that
that's
their
possible.
community where it was like almost immediate. You're like people are disappearing.
Hmm. I think I'm gonna go with that one. So it was a pretty
Okay.
quick turnaround.
Okay, but even still, that would have to be, I would think, from noticing to organizing to trying to execute, that would have to be at least 5 years.
I think so. And do we know when was Alexia born in all of this? Was she already around when they started doing all the rebellion stuff, or was she born in the middle of this?
Well, so she was 5 when they got caught,
Oh,
or she was little. She was like 5 or 6, I think. Maybe she was
hmm.
10. I don't know.
I don't remember. Does it? I don't know if it says.
Yeah, I think it might say later, but what I is in my heart is that she's like young, that she's like 5 or 6 or something. But that would have made
Yeah,
sense because then she was on the street on her own. She must have been
right?
10.
I don't know. Unclear.
Okay. Not super clear, but it feels like Slater must be significantly older than her, which makes
Yeah,
sense because he has business
he's
sense.
so wise.
But how does he have money?
Um, you're right. Because I was like, oh, that makes sense why he has so much money. He's the king's son. But I'm like, you're right. He ran away. Did he just steal everything? Took all of, ransacked the palace before he left? I mean, that would have been smart.
I mean, that's
Or
possible.
does he have an inn with the palace still? The little courier who's bringing him money?
Ooh. His mom,
Is mom, is
his,
mom still around?
I don't know. He never talks about her, but maybe she's like, I don't know, maybe she's at the palace, like cleaning or something.
Yeah, I don't
One
know.
of the maids, she's able to like sneak little coins for him.
Maybe. Okay, yeah. And why was he with Mac? We already asked that question. That's right. We don't know.
That comes up in the second part.
Okay, okay. Very good.
Yes.
Hmm. I'm thinking he's giving Mac information so Mac can do criminal activities in the palace. That's my guess.
Oh, interesting. He's like an informant. That's how he's getting all his
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. Hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Why do you, so the other thing that I didn't know is when they were in like the cave crystal, she sees all of like the little crystal pieces that the people get given in
Hmm.
the goblet of fire for their bat mitzvah.
We're mixing a lot of analogies here.
Listener, you'll follow along. You got it.
Yeah.
Um, why didn't she like grab some?
Take one. I are they all splintered? So there's not
Yeah.
one Omnia crystal anymore?
Yeah. But
Oh,
like
so why didn't she just pick up some more powers?
yeah.
That's a good point. Is there something in the story where it's like you touch the crystals and like you'll die, like Aladdin? I don't think that is in
Oh.
the story, but
I don't remember that, but that was like a question that I had. I was like,
that's a
girly,
good
like,
question.
take some of these.
I know. That's a good question. Because I don't think even in the original story of like the first king who found the cave, I don't think he takes the crystals either. Like the goddess has to give it to him. So
Yeah.
maybe you just like can't really like harvest the crystals.
Maybe if you tried to grab the crystals, the devil would come up. Maybe that's part of the story.
Oh, maybe.
Like you have to be pure heart. Like you can't be there like greedy.
Yeah. Hmm. That'd be pretty good motivation to not touch the crystal.
I agree with that.
Uh, okay, and then speaking of the crystal, there was it the pendant that she stole in the beginning that had the crystal on it? Is
Okay,
that
so
right?
so she stole a pendant in the beginning and she said it had a black swirling stone.
Okay.
What do you think that was?
Oh, so that one wasn't a crystal.
Well, she thought it might have been the V, the strength crystal, but she wasn't sure.
Oh, okay. Because her big question there was everyone is buried with their crystal, so this would mean that someone isn't buried with their crystal. So like where'd it come from?
Oh, yeah,
Hmm. Okay, let's assume it is the V crystal. Where did it come from? Maybe one of the kings? Maybe the
that's
first king
possible.
who had all the power. I
That's
don't know.
possible.
Maybe that wouldn't make sense.
I,
He wouldn't have a V
I,
stone.
I don't think it gets answered by the end of the book.
Ah.
I don't remember it, but I'm wondering if it was the Devil Stone. Because I'm imagining the
Mm.
Omnia crystal is like all of the colors.
Yeah.
So then a black stone to me feels like it would be like the opposite.
That's a really good thought. I like that idea.
And I don't know what that would do. I don't know.
Suck
But I
away
feel
all
like
the
it's
power.
yeah, I feel like it's very important. I think it's going to come back in book two, probably.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good thought.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Let's see. I'm
Chrissy
looking through all
wrote,
of our questions. Mm-hmm.
Chrissy wrote the Niyosaki seems to have the hots for
Oh,
Alexia. Don't tell me it's a love square.
did you have that thought?
No, but that would be a love pyramid with Alexia at the top.
Oh, you're
Is that
right.
not
It could
enough?
be. It'd be a triangle would be the base because there's three guys and then one girl.
Oh, yeah.
So, but you're right. All the lines would be pointing to Alexia. So we would have it. We'd have to go into the three-dimensional space.
Yeah, we'd be three-dimensional. I didn't see that Niyosaki liked Alexia. To me, he seems sexless.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I don't think he's into anything.
Really?
He feels
Huh.
to me like he's into killing and he's into fighting.
Ah. Okay, well, maybe then we're not going three-dimensional because her line would go to him and he doesn't have a returning line. And the reason I thought this was they
Oh, do
have
you
this con
think
uh-huh.
Alexia likes Niyosaki?
Well, yes, because here's a line. So he says,
Oh.
"You have my eternal thanks for getting me out of there, but if you wouldn't mind," he started walking away. Alexia looked to the others, her brow furrowed in confusion. For some inexplicable reason, his defiance made her like him, trust him. I said, "Oh
Oh.
no." There's another guy who she's gonna like. But you're right, he doesn't really seem to like her necessarily, I
No.
don't think.
I I took that as more of like Alexia's daddy issues. Like
She
she
might have a
needs her
lot of issues.
is she well, she has like a daddy size hole in her heart. And
Oh
so she's like
no.
perhaps Niyosaki can fit in there.
It's like, not quite.
Not quite.
Luca?
Damien?
Yeah.
No. Luca? Yeah, she's trying all the ones to see which one will fill that daddy size hole.
Oh my gosh. I could see that.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, okay. Speaking of all these guys, so at their second night, when they're staying at their second five-star resort, and Slater buys out the entire thing, which was crazy. But okay, whatever. There's only what, like four rooms, but there's five of them. So the innkeeper's like, "Who's gonna double up?" And at
Oh my
first,
God.
Slater's like, "Oh, me and Alexia." And Alexia said, "What? No." And then Lucas says, "Oh, me and Alexia." And she says, "Okay." So Alexia and Luca double up. Okay, fine. Why didn't Alexia stay with Briar?
That's what I thought. I was like,
They're
stay with
roommates
your
all the
brother.
time. Yeah. It's like that made the most sense. Because also, my big thing with Luca, too, is that they've only had one date. They're like pledging their lives to each other. And I was like, I don't know. Seems like a lot.
I think Alexia is she's out here thinking she got a promise ring from this guy. She thinks she is fated love with Luca. So I think she's just
Yeah.
going all in. And Briar seems to think so too.
Neither of them know how love works.
No, because they're
They've been on the
orphans.
streets.
They're
Yeah.
orphans who are living on the streets who don't know anything.
Oh no.
I agree though she should have stayed with Briar, her brother orphan, you
That
know?
would have made a lot more sense, I think.
Yes. But I think at Alexia's core, she wanted to get laid. So she was like,
Oh no.
so she's like, I'll do it. I did think it was like a little strange where I'm like, Alexia is like in a straight up entourage of men.
You're right. Yeah. Hmm. Maybe that was KS Elliot's like she wanted that to happen though because it's like, fearless woman leader
Yeah.
leading all the guys.
Pied Piper leading a pack
Yeah.
of men.
To their certain death. Like if a plan said nope.
Nope.
Oh my goodness. I had a cute or cringe.
Okay.
All right. It was okay, this was the scene where Slater appears in her room after she took a shower. And it says he stood up from the chair, stalked to the bed, and knelt on one knee in front of her. What the mall are you doing? Alexia barked in his face as she scurried further back onto the bed. Slater rose, unbothered. I thought you may have liked some help. I guess not. He tossed the tub of ointment onto the bed and walked out of her room. Okay, cute or cringe? Guy appears in your room, offers to help you apply healing ointment all over your body.
If it were Slater, I'd be like, I'm in trouble.
I'm betrothed to Luca.
I'd be like, this girlie in trouble. This hot man with tons of money is coming in here trying to take care of me. What? Buy me shoes? What?
Who am I to say no?
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm over here plowing rocks for brains.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would be like, I might have made a bad choice. That's what I would be thinking. What would you be
Oh my
thinking?
gosh. I thought that would have terrified me if I came out of the shower and someone was sitting in the chair in my locked room. I'm assuming it was locked. I guess it wasn't.
He has the
But no,
key.
yeah, they definitely had keys to their room. She may or may not have locked her own room. He probably went out and had another key made.
You look, you see the door's been busted down, and you're like,
Oh my gosh.
if I saw
Yeah.
the door busted down, then cringe. If he knocked lightly and he didn't hear me, say, "Don't come in." And then he comes in with his ointment and he's like, "You want me to help you because you've been walking around with your bare feet?" And I would be like, "Oh, okay."
If there's some sort of interaction where I acknowledge that he's coming in, that makes it a lot better.
That makes it a
Him
lot better.
appearing after the shower is what gets me.
Maybe I would be pissed off, but I'm feeling like if I'm Alexia and I've just been like orphan on the streets
That's
and
true.
Daddy Warbucks is coming in, I might be like, okay, I will allow it.
A little more enticed. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could make this work.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, are we
Hmm.
calling it? Do you have other questions?
I think that's about it. Yeah, excited to see
Okay.
what happens next.
I know.
Yeah.
Things get a
Yeah.
little crazy,
Whoa. Even crazier.
even crazier.
They break someone else out of Azkaban.
Okay, so after we're done with this, what's our next book?
I don't know. We've talked about a lot of books.
I know. Are we
I forget.
doing
Did we have a list?
we we're done with the list. We've completed the list.
Okay, so we've talked about Harry Potter 2.
Harry Potter 2.
What else have we talked about?
We have another independent
Oh, indie
author
book.
who reached
I feel like
out.
feel like we should do something in between the indie authors. Oh my gosh, Candy, have you checked our email?
Yes.
Did you see who answered?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow. All right, well, I guess we'll talk about this on the next one.
I know. Listeners, stay tuned. We got a really nice email in our inbox.
Exciting. Okay. Um, okay. I feel like maybe we should do a known book before we do another indie book.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, so maybe Harry Potter?
Let's do Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The
Were there
people
any
be
other
wanting
book
it.
recs? I know. Pretty exciting.
Yeah. If you
We
do
should.
have
Mhm.
a book recommendation, email us, bookalicious.pod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We're happy to do it.
Can we put a call out on the Instagrams?
We can.
Does no one
It's bleak
respond?
out there.
Uh, yeah, that's okay.
But
Well,
we can do it. I'll try.
yeah,
We'll see.
I know. People, I feel like we get our most book recommendations from Spotify comments.
Spotify comment. We get a lot of Spotify comments. We're a Spotify household. We get a lot of emails. Friend of the pod, Lexi, she's been wanting us to do book 3 of Akatar.
I don't know.
It's so long, so big, so much
Oh,
book.
is it? Oh gosh. I
Well,
don't
they
know.
don't get smaller.
Ugh. Okay. All right. Well, we'll come up with our list.
We'll come up with the list. But if you have any ideas, dear listener, please write in.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
could use some recommendations.
absolutely.
Okay. Well, this has been super fun.
This has been super fun. If you want, join our Patreon. We'll have a secret episode about my blimp finger and my really fancy baby shower that I went to, and whatever stories Chrissy wants to bring to the table.
I'll think of some.
All right, she'll think of some. Perhaps she'll go to the dentist.
Yeah. I've had a few dentist stories on here.
Yeah, yeah. So, we'll do all of the medical appointments at once.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We do. Yeah. Oh, I could curry up some medical stories.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool.
Yay. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.